Hello everyone. Today we're looking at a sad, builder-grade sack of tears. Most of you will know it as the Doom bathroom. Let's start with a quote that sums this whole thing up, shall we? I think much in the way an immune system with absolutely nothing to do sometimes just ends up attacking itself, the suburban homeowner with a perfectly nice house with nothing that needs remodeling or fixing can go a bit nuts and just start attacking itself to the point that it begins to gnaw away at the load-bearing elements of the building. It's like an autoimmune disorder, except with amateur builders. This story comes from the far-off past of 2017. At the core of it, this is the story of a man who, in the pursuit of improving his home's value, irreparably fucks up said home. Many such cases. Today we're visiting the dead gay comedy forum of Something Awful. With a 25-year run, it has influenced the internet in more ways than I can explain in this short video. There are countless stories of goons, which are the users of Something Awful, not that kind of goon, ruining their life, or their belongings in some fantastic way. This is one of those stories. If, like me, you're fortunate enough to own your own house, you're probably not always happy with the state of said house. In my case, I want to rip up part of the backyard, install more vegetable gardens, I need to add more stain to the front porch, fix some problems with some very old woodwork. My house is 100 years old. Either we're not happy with something in our house, or we're just trying to fix a problem. Or, just as commonly, we're doing a quick renovation job in the hopes of goosing our house prices when we go to sell. Beatmaster J, the protagonist of today's story, was on the second half of that equation. Before this project kicked off, his house was pretty standard, if a bit large. The main bathroom was huge, measuring in at around 200 square feet. That's bigger than my bedroom. Are all American bathrooms this big? Answer in the comments. This bathroom was genuinely nothing special, perfectly serviceable. It maybe needed a new coat of paint, maybe change out the countertops, but it's exactly what you need to drop the kids off at the pool. You look at it and go, yeah, that's a bathroom, alright. Unfortunately, there's nothing more dangerous than a man with computer-aided design software. His original post shows us what he wants the bathroom to look like, and some of you are already looking at this and going, oh no, I recognize this. He has plans for a jacuzzi tub in the middle of the room. We'll need to move the plumbing to the side to accommodate the new faucet placement, and there's going to be a new wall for that brand new shower. His current jacuzzi tub isn't a freestanding tub, so he's already got himself a bad job to start off with. It has a huge rectangular surround, built to last. By the time the demolition was done, he described it as a scene from an Aleppo war-torn home. But with that out of the way, what's next for Beatmaster J? Well, the new tub arrives tomorrow, the granite for the vanities should be here any day, installing a few more recessed lights, going to drop the subfloor under the tub a few inches. To quote the Beatmaster a few days into the future, the fun part about posting a project online is that the internet is a ruthless foe quick to point out your mistakes. 10 or so days after his first post, we get our next update from Beatmaster J. He still needs to modify the vanity mirrors with some more LED lighting, tile the wall behind the vanities. He needs to do some plumbing work, lest he ends up with a nice big safety hazard in that hole where the tub used to be. But one quote sticks out from him today. Today I ripped out the subfloor where my tub is going to be installed. Took surprisingly more effort than I expected, until I found a good way to cheat. It takes less than a day for the internet to point out the mistake, and forums user Device Null asks, are those engineered I-beams you cut the top off of? And the answer, dear viewer, is yes. Beatmaster J has taken saw unto hand and removed the tops of the engineered I-beams that make up the subfloor of his bathroom. And I am about to make it slightly worse, because Beatmaster J's master bathroom is on the top floor of his house, which means that the floor he's sawn into doubles as the ceiling to the ground floor. What this means is, he is going to install a large, heavy granite bathtub on the top floor of his house that he's now hopelessly structurally compromised. But don't worry, Beatmaster J is sure it's not to code, but it's the only way he can accomplish what he's trying to do. They'll be getting new tops before he reinstalls the new subfloor. Aside from the obvious feedback that he probably shouldn't have done that, he wants to know if there's any other suggestions on how to improve the structural rigidity of said I-beams. His own suggestion is new 2x4s added to the top, Add some plywood bridge supports and some 2x4 cross members to be added between each beam for extra rigidity. It's at this point that construction-minded members of Something Awful sense the DIY equivalent of blood in the water, descending on thread, rapidly breaking down all of the issues exposed by our craftsman's handiwork. The new drains that he's installed for the dual vanities, well, those aren't up to code, you're missing a vent near the drain. The freshly cut studs on the vanity, so you can fit your plumbing properly. Don't cut your studs like that, you've compromised the integrity of them. Doubly so when you're planning to cantilever heavy granite vanities off the top. Those leaky valves you're complaining about? Good luck, buddy, learn to hate Home Depot, get better stuff elsewhere. Those outlets you've installed, those don't look bathroom rated, you're going to electrocute yourself. And those floor joists. Those hopelessly compromised floor joists. The damage done to them means there's now no vertical support, just a little bit of horizontal support really, which isn't what you want when you're planning a sunken bathtub. One thing to point out is there is a recessed light in the gaping wound in the floor. Recessed lights aren't usually put close to a wall, and there's no evidence of a break in the sheathing to indicate this either. So what this means is we now have a large compromised section of the floor far, far away from any potential supporting structures. What you need here is an engineer. Beatmaster J is confident that he's done nothing that will need to be undone to accomplish his goals. He could take a page out of this permaban goon's book and realize that joists are part of the corporate lobby to charge you extra money. You just have to make sure your floor is properly stress tested. Just math it out. Your bathtub weighs what, 500 pounds, holds 50 gallons of water, that's another 800 pounds. You add a goon, you're at 1,200 pounds total. You look at your floor, those tiny pieces of wood, throw some plywood on it. Plywood's created with 200 plus psi of pressure. Direct quote. Which is a pressure measurement that's about 1 pound of pressure per inch. This is great as long as you have enough plywood, you'll never fall through the floor. Again, what he needs here is an engineer. I don't think Beatmaster J is hurting for money, he can afford a contractor, but it doesn't mean he wants to, so we end up with a month of people just shitting on him really. They help him fix some stuff, but it's mostly dunking on him. His original 2 shower heads in the shower isn't up to code, he's got to fix that. There's a lot of problems. But Beatmaster J has relented and finally got a contractor. Engineering starts Monday. The vast majority of the remaining work will be contracted out, including the vanity wall, plumbing, all repair work. Only a few minor things will remain when all things are said and done. He's even talked himself to adding a steam shower. Great bonus for him. We've even got a ballpark figure to repair the floor joists. There is the caveat that it might be revised after an architect gets his hands on it, but $5,500 is a lot of damage. That's only part of the cost. Obviously, we have a whole list of the work that Beatmaster J has been bullied into contracting out, and it's a lot. All for the princely sum of $23,500. We've even got a weight calculation of everything that's going into the tub hole, done for his own amusement, but I'm glad he provides it for us because it gives us a fucking banger of a statement here that I want to dive into. Tub, 150 pounds. 60 gallons of water, about 480 pounds. The floor tile will be 100 pounds. River rock, that'll come in at 225 pounds. 2 people in a tub is 350 pounds. A quote from Beatmaster J there is, "No fat chicks." The subfloor is 50 pounds, so a total weight of 1,355 pounds. And you might have noticed something there in that list, stuck out to me. River rock. This is picked up by forums user Mr. Nice, who asks, why the fuck are you putting gravel around your tub other than to serve as an ideal environment for mold? The answer was sadly, to serve as an ideal environment for mold. I think Beatmaster J got confused with those home design magazine features with carefully manicured and coiffed moss around the base of his bathtub. I think he's mistaken it for mold. That's my interpretation of it. Either way, he's very insistent that it's going to look good and the design will be safe. Slipping on wet rocks is a concern of someone, but fret not, they wouldn't be intended for walking on, it's just purely decorative. He's even done some science. He's made a mock mold garden to see how well it grows in his bathroom. He splashed them with a bit of water, and he'll let it fester for a while. Don't worry, they're not the rocks that he's going to use, these are just test rocks that they had available at Home Depot. Naturally, I have questions like, why, and are you a secret plague demon? My other question is this worth it? Shout out to another permaban goon with a calculator. Beatmaster J says he takes 3 baths a year at one point in the thread, so let's say he lives for another 50 years, and to do that he'll need to give up the DIY electrical work, but he lives in the house until they cart him away in a body bag. Each bath you take will cost you $460. You could buy a fresh towel, bottle of soap, and throw both away every time you feel like having a bath and still have enough left over for a bath bomb from Lush and a moderately priced bottle of champagne. All that, and you'd still come out ahead at the end of your natural life. Hell, you'd come out ahead even if you tripled the cost of said bath accessories. Let's be fair to the Beatmaster, he probably takes showers every day and says he's not particularly fond of baths that don't involve lady friends. Unlikely thing for him to have, but it's meant to be the focal point of the bathroom. Let's be fair. We come to the reason for his DIY adventure, finally. Jay wants to increase the value of his house when he goes to sell it in the near future. That being said, let's ignore the mold, let's ignore the floor joists. This is a hyper-trendy, in fact the opposite of timeless, flash-in-the-pan style, done badly, expensively, and with unfashionable colors. I don't think we're in the business of adding value here. It shouldn't come as a surprise to you that Jay isn't convinced. He says he's made this bathroom with a woman in mind. Despite not being married, he designed his whole walk-in closet with a woman in mind. The bathroom will have a powder room. This is the kind of thing a woman will look at and say, "Oh my god, I want this." In his mind, at least. He is of the opinion that women play an unfair role in the home buying process, and a woman who falls in love with this bathroom is going to help sell the house for more money someday. According to him, women are hardwired to love a bathroom. So now we get to talk about bio-truths. This is a phrase that gets thrown around a lot on Something Awful, and elsewhere. You'll see it a lot on Reddit and 4chan. It's the idea that some things are biologically immutable. For example, the idea that women prefer pink because they evolved to stay home and pick berries is a bio-truth. Most of these are wrong. Usually they're used in an attempt to take a misogynist or racist idea and try and justify it from a biological angle. That these things are just hardwired into human nature. Beatmaster J doesn't know a lot about women, but he's of the opinion that women are hardwired to be really into knowing what kind of bathroom they like. Some goonettes appear in the thread. Those are women that happen to be goons, not that kind of goon. And they tell us how fucked this bathroom is. The tub's awkwardly placed, the bathroom notches are too small, the shower's too big. There's no lighting, no towel storage, no robe storage, no flat workspace for your hot tools. That paint scheme's gonna eat up all the light, both natural and artificial. Beatmaster J is not on the mark with his bio-truths here. These women don't speak for all women, but the consensus is pretty clearly that it's a shit bathroom built off of sexist ideas. Beatmaster J kind of checks out of this thread. At this point, he gets dunked on relentlessly. He's not sexist in his mind. He didn't mean to be sexist against the, and I quote, females, which should tell you enough about the guy. He gets temporarily banned by a forums moderator for tripling down, calling people cranky nags, and trying to make an argument that no one's ever been offended by being called male. The thread itself is closed, consigned to the comedy gold mines of history. Permanently recording the posting of a man permanently fucking up his bathroom and then flaming out. But this isn't the end of the Doom bathroom saga. We haven't even gotten to the Doom yet. So let's recap. Thousands of dollars of structural damage. He's had to rework multiple parts of the bathroom to fix plumbing, electrical, woodworking issues. We've got a mold garden, and we've revealed some bio-truths. Great! I'm going to slowly acclimatize you to the horrors. We're actually going back in time to May 5th, 2016, where Beatmaster J finishes his master bedroom renovation. A pattern will emerge here, bear with me. It starts off as a perfectly serviceable early 2000s bedroom. There's a nice black freestanding bed, side table, dresser. They've all been replaced. There's a dark wooden floor, a white statement rug. The traditional ceiling fans have been replaced by one that looks like an aeroplane propeller. There's pictures on the wall. He took them himself. That's cute, but the floating cabinetry isn't. It's very 2005. Both they and the bed are now floating, which brings us to 5 pieces of floating furniture in the house. There's not one, but 2 light grey cuck chairs. their color matching nicely with the bedspread. However, this is contrasted with the light blue paint on the other 3 walls and the bright red cushions and footstool. There's even some really bad electrical work done in the ceiling beam right over your head in earthquake-prone California. I hope after seeing that, you understand Beatmaster J's whole deal now. We're now going forward in time to February 27th, 2019. It's been 600 days, nearly 2 years, and in the general interior design thread of Something Awful, Beatmaster J reveals his magnum opus. Welcome to the Red Pill Panty Dropper. My initial thought, yours too, is how much onboard RAM does this gamer bathroom have? It's like if a pickup artist gained sentience and was asked to design a bathroom. It's red on silver on black, a monument to granite and hubris. Note the Gothic wallpaper, black with a silver design tessellated across it, the rectangular bath hewn out of stone, nestled gently into the pile of mold stones. The granite wall in the shower that'll shred you if you fall over. Somehow the mirrors look worse than they used to. This is a Trump hotel designed during Trump's emo phase. It's beautiful, and I love it. You know how I said earlier the internet's quick to point out your mistakes? Well, one goon tracks down the wallpaper to its manufacturer's website and come back with the news that A, it's glitter wallpaper, and B, according to the manufacturer's site, he's installed it upside down. This is naturally hand-waved by Beatmaster J, saying he made a conscious decision to install it in that direction because he thinks it looks better that way. Let me just get my dunks in real quick. It looks like the bathroom you designed for the goths in Sims 1. The only woman that would like this would be a Vampire the Masquerade LARPer. This is Shadow the Hedgehog's favorite place to exist. Okay, I'm good. One of the things that make these images so challenging to look at is Jay really cranked up the HDR. He says it was a balance between wanting to make the images look semi-decent and not wanting to spend all day editing photos. There are some subtleties in these photos that some retellings miss that I'm going to point out. The faucet for the tub looks like a sink faucet to me. It barely scrapes over the edge of the tub, and it may look like part of the tub was ground out to accommodate it as well. It's hard to tell, but that's my theory. The little nook next to the bathtub for holding your soaps isn't aligned to anything, it actually punches through 2 grout lines. The solution to no rug in front of the bathtub is not just bigger rug. You know, for some reason, it's move the rugs between shower and bath as needed. He refuses to ever show the toilet, so it's either completely unmodified or extremely bad. I refuse to accept a compromise here, it's probably bad. A lesser-known highlight of this overwhelmingly bad reaction is the extremely wonky tiling in the shower. This was defended with the assertion that laying rectangular tile on a flat surface isn't an exact science. The fucked up I-beams were fixed, with large 8x10 beams sisted next to the existing joists. This was engineered appropriately and uninteresting, but I'm glad it's fixed. Why am I glad it's fixed, you ask? Well, the house is for sale, right now. As I'm recording this script, the house is for sale for $1 million. There's a 3D walkthrough of the house where you can explore the rest of its fucked upness. You can look at the nightmare demon on the children's bedroom wall. When I first looked at this for my podcast a while ago, I found he did a blue bathroom in another part of the house, probably designed for the fellas, but it looks like that's been reverted, which does make me a little sad. But man, imagine owning this thing. What this video should have made clear is that goons love dunking on someone. This thread is no exception. We get pages and pages and pages of bullshit just dunking on this man. Someone goes out of their way to make a Doom level. It's called Bath Doom and made by my friend Dieting Hippo. You can play through this bathroom as God, and I assume Beatmaster J intended. I've dropped a link to it in the description, and you can download it and play it right now. I believe there's an update coming to incorporate the rest of the house. Now we have a full map available to us. Set the difficulty to extreme and circle strafe around the Jehovah's Witnesses in the living room, I assume. People let it rip. Thousands of posts. People coming out of posting retirement to dunk on the dude. And it's just mocking mutual backslapping all the way down. Beatmaster J himself is kind of forgotten. Occasionally his bad bathroom's brought up and we have a good laugh. I found out recently that he owns a Cybertruck, which is a likely thing for him to do. Just incredible all around, really. But to sum up, Beatmaster J has done an insane amount of damage, remediation, and then more damage to his house in the process of remodeling his bathroom. There was $6,000 worth of damage to the structural integrity of the floor. Sure, it's been fixed. But with the removal of a perfectly serviceable bathroom, the potential installation of hazardous electrical work, and a lovely mold garden that never came to be, truly is priceless. Actually, no, we have a price. $23,000 at least. Maybe more. We have the contractor quote after all. The busted Cybertruck on top is kind of a little cherry on top of the comedy sundae. As a longtime user of Something Awful, this thread alone is conclusive proof that the $10 I spent to register on the forums was the single highest return on investment I could have made in my entire life. I'm going to leave you with the collection of some of my favorite images from the thread of goons dunking on this man. Thank you for listening today. The only thing I'm going to ask you to do is don't forget that the internet makes you stupid.
Walk into the bank with some shit in your pants. 'Cause you had too many crystals and you somehow tried to dance. Walk up to the teller with an awkward grin on your face. Hand over the shitty check to him and it's time to get paid. But he says he can't cash it 'cause it's covered in shit. There's no way to sign it, and it's not even legible. No!